Chansi, what excites you about this wide receiving core?
I think the belief is the main thing. I think it excites us about these guys. They're hungry. They want to learn, which is not a given in today's world. But they buy into coaching. They're super competitive, and again, they have a lot of belief about themselves, about what this place can do.
Where do you think you've made your biggest contribution coming in this year with wide receivers?
I just think just being personable with the guys, having them believe, and one of the main things as a coach is you want your guys to trust you. You know, if they don't trust you, they're not going to really buy into what you're teaching. And then when they start to see the fruit of what they're doing, and then they start believing a little more, I think that's one of the biggest things that I've been able to help the guys with, that, hey, you have a certain skill set, and if you buy into that, you can do a very good job.
When Avery goes down, that's hard for the whole unit. Who do you look to immediately to try and step up and fill his void?
I mean, Avery, he's such a big void that's left there, and it can't be filled by one person. You know, so you have to do that as a group. Braden's been stepping up in what he's doing. Lorenzo, Dion's even been stepping up. So it's kind of a conglomerate of the whole unit that's doing a job and trying to fill that void. And I think it's made some guys step up who weren't expecting to step up. So that's been very, very good on our end.
In terms of progression to some of your young guys on the field, like Merriweather, for example, how's he coming along?
He's coming along. He's a young guy. There's a big jump from high school to college, especially at a place like Notre Dame. And he's willing. He wants to learn. Just trying to get him to buy into attention to detail, because that's one of the biggest things. How to study, how to take notes. When that freshman wall hits you, how to punch through it and keep fighting and finding some encouragement to get better. So, you know, my goal is not for him to be a completed player by game one. So it has to be a progress to get him to where he needs to be.
And you mentioned Dion is one of the guys that's stepping up. Where have you seen him grow the most between when you got here and how he looks now?
I think more so his personality. You know, I think his personality has come out a little more. I think he's more comfortable in who he is and what he can do. And I think that has translated to the field. So, hey, I'm Dion. This is what I do well. This is who I am. This is my personality. I don't have to be this guy. I can just be Dion. And he has confidence in himself.
And when you say this is what I do well, what are the things he does well?
He's big. He's physical. He's powerful. He's, you know, you say 50-50 ball, but he's been 80-20 and how he's been going against our DBs. And, you know, that's the reputation that you want. I'm big, I'm strong. Hey, watch out for the jump ball. Yeah, you need to watch for the jump ball, and I'm still going to make the play.
You have some first-hand experience in a college football playoff game. Have you been able to share any little nuggets with the guys in terms of starting off the season the right way?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is guys understanding what the standard is. The hardest thing about the standard is that it's the standard, okay? And you've been there, you've seen it, you know what type of guys you're gonna face at that point. So my job is to prepare them for that, even though they can't see it. Talk about faith is believing in things you have not seen. So having the faith that, hey, coach knows, he can see it, this is the standard that we need to be at. So I think that's the one main thing, so when they get there, they're not surprised about the competition and the atmosphere and what it's gonna take.
Coach, what was the immediate reaction, I guess, from you and the rest of the receiving corps when Avery Davis went down?
That's obviously like a gut punch. You know, I know, you know, it's kind of thrown around, but that's really what it felt like, you know, because it was one of the plays we designed for him, and everyone was excited to see him do it. And as he went in, you know, he planned it, and we saw it, and there was just kind of a big gasp. And, you know, we were hoping for the best, but, you know, obviously, you know, his ACL again. So, you know, now we have to be behind him, pushing him, you know, whatever decision he makes and in his life going forward, because he is still part of this brotherhood.
You talked about personality in Dion. That's one of the number one things that you look for in your players, or what else? What is the number one thing that you look for, not personality?
Are you speaking just off the field wise?
Off the field, on the field, just in general.
You have to be competitive. You know, this program breeds competitiveness, and if you're not willing to compete and willing to come into a room that's already highly competitive, like, this is not the place for you. So, you know, I like to get the guys the analogy that you either get squeezed up, you get squeezed out. You know, we want guys who thrive on competition, who want to come in and be the best, and that's what I'm looking at as an intangible for the guys, because if you have that, we can fix the physical traits, but if you don't have that competitiveness, it's not going to work out.
Obviously, Mayor is going to draw a lot of attention from defenses. What does that do for your guys on Saturdays in terms of maybe opening things up in their avenues?
And I hope that creates some one-on-one opportunities. Everyone knows Mike is a phenomenal player, big, strong, great leader for this football team, and you have to pay attention to him if you want to try to stop our offense. So in saying that, it's going to hopefully create some one-on-ones with some guys, and if we don't make plays, those one-on-ones are null. But given the opportunity to make plays, I believe the guys are going to make some plays, and hopefully that creates another phase of our offense when we're really, really hard to defend.
And obviously Tyler gets named the starter over the weekend. How long do you think it takes for your guys to start developing a rapport with him? Like between now and Ohio State, is that enough time?
Key word is rapport.
Yeah.
It takes time, and it's naming Tyler the starter. Hey guys, I need you to lock in, even how the ball spins, arm angle, anticipation, and how he likes to throw. Does he like to throw when he sees you? Does he like to throw before you're at your break? All those little things, all those nuances are critical for that receiver to quarterback relationship. And I've just been harping on the guys that as much as that you can get, make sure you get it.
Where have you seen the most growth from Jaden since the spring? And is it fair to say he's ascending?
I love what Jaden's doing. He again, that's a guy that's kind of coming into his own, having his own personality, understanding what his skill set is. He's a thicker body, bigger kid, but he has elite quickness, short area quickness. So just trying to get him to understand that he's extremely smart. He can play all over the field, and I think the more opportunities we give him, the more spaces positions we can put him at, the better he'll be.
And then everybody knows about Zoe's speed. I guess where has he kind of grown the most this summer?
Just the details. Zoe, as you said, he has a great superpower and he has great speed, but it's not all about running by guys every time. So teaching him how to stop, getting his feet right and breaking. He hasn't been playing a receiver position that long, so it's a lot of details that he has to refocus on and lock in. But he's been doing a phenomenal job in taking the coaching and understanding, and hands have got tremendously better. So he's another guy that's ascending right now too.
And then as a former blue chip quarterback yourself, what have you kind of seen from Tyler Buckner? Just watching him.
I love his moxie. He's never rattled. He'll have some issues in practice with, tip ball is picked here or on the wrong read, but he's never rattled. You look at his face, he's always locked in, he's always confident, and I think that permeates throughout our offense. Our receivers see that, it's like, okay, all right, we're going to make mistakes, but we have a guy in this huddle who can lead us to everything we're trying to do.
And then can you provide clarification on who the fastest receiver is?
That's tough. Right now, my thought is Braden, but a lot of people are saying Zoe. So we'll have to see long after the season. Save those hamstrings.
Coach, kind of going to piggyback off the Tyler Buckner question, what does he provide to the offense from skill set, and how does that work with your receiving corps?
His skill set, he's not a runner, but he's athletic. I think that's a lot of the quarterbacks you see today that can really really spin it, and they can also avoid pressure and get out of the pocket, throw and run. And that's always a tough dynamic for any defensive coach when you have a guy who can just sit in the pocket versus who can slide in the pocket, who can move up, who can take off and run. He's just a dual threat guy that expands our offense just a little more.
Good. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach.